We're rolling. We're rolling. All right, I need to minimize the amount of time I spend switching my hand position on this mic. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. All right. The way I've learned to push through hard times in my life, specifically times of loss, heartbreak, change, grief, is by enjoying my own company. After a falling out that I had with my close friends a few years ago, I started going to the movies all by myself, just to immerse myself in a brand new creative world. When I went through my first heartbreak, I started journaling and meditating, just to get in touch with my feelings, my emotions, my thoughts, everything, just to be aware of them and to make sure that they were good ones to have. When I finished high school, I started going to the gym and going on runs and working out super consistently, just to help me feel like I had something that was mine, that was something that I was doing for me and only me, that made me just feel good and feel accomplished and feel motivated, and like I was contributing to something for myself. And choosing wise and productive things to get through hard times in my life has built a really, really strong foundation of self-love for me. And of course, this foundation has gone through moments where it wasn't the strongest and it crumbled a bit, and I needed to kind of get back and, remember what makes me feel good and remember what I need to make sure I'm giving myself love first, because if we can't give ourselves, that goes without saying, but you can't love other people if you don't also love yourself first too. But I get to keep this foundation, and my life is built on this foundation of self-love and of telling myself through my actions and my habits and my hobbies and the things that make me feel good. It's built on a foundation of self-love and of positivity and good feelings, good emotions. And I started kind of getting into the idea of self-love and how it's tied to our innate worthiness in episode 2. And I kind of am realizing gradually as well that many of the conversations I have with people in real life, with people close friends, on this radio show too, the ideas that I have for it, self-love lies at the very center of it. Because the thing is, you can't build a better life if you don't know deeply how worthy you are of it. And self-love is the foundation of everything. So I want to talk to you about the first step towards self-love and what it was for me and what it is for most people, and what it, even if it's not the first step, is just extremely necessary, which is enjoying your own company and taking yourself on dates and having fun all by yourself. In the song Flowers by Miley Cyrus, this is a huge theme. Flowers is one of the biggest hits of this year, and it's an amazing self-love anthem. And Miley, again, touches on self-love and self-empowerment and self-fulfillment and self-efficacy in this song in ways that I don't think have really been done before this song. Not truly. Yeah, this song is amazing. I love that this has been such a huge hit this year, because this feeling of loving yourself it's growing, and it's more common, and people realize the importance of it and are prioritizing it, and that makes me so happy to witness and to see people experiencing, and this song being as massive and as beloved as it has been by everybody, I think is a true testament to self-love and the fact that it's truly happening on a grand scale, which is just amazing. Truly, truly amazing. So, without further ado, this is the first step to self-love, as told by Miley Cyrus on her song Flowers, and also told by another artist that I adore, Casey Musgraves, on her song Lonely Weekend. Here we go. There's a car alarm going off outside, and it's been going off for a couple of minutes, but I don't think you can hear it, so I'm just gonna go for it. And if you can hear it, then that's just beautiful, and it's just life, and I live in a big city, and there's a lot of lives intertwining in a big city, so It's not that loud, so I think it's fine. But I just danced around my apartment to Flowers. It truly is one of those songs that you can just get lost in and like just, I can love me better, baby. Like, it's just so infectious and so good. It's such a good self-love anthem, and it's God, I love it. But God, I'm so excited about this song and this episode. But okay, all right. So lyric number one, just from the beginning. We were good, we were gold, kind of dream that can't be sold. We were right till we weren't, built a home and watched it burn. I didn't want to leave, baby, I didn't want to lie. Started to cry, but then remembered So the first part of the song is kind of setting the scene, and Miley's going through the end of a relationship, which, as I've talked about, we've been there, girl. We're all been there. It ain't easy. It ain't the greatest, but then the chorus comes in, and you're like, oh, we're good. So here's the chorus. I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours, yeah, say things you don't understand. I can take myself dancing, and I can hold my own hand. Yeah, I can love me better than you can. Can love me better, I can love me better, baby. Can love me better, I can love me better, baby. Can love me better, I can love me better, baby. Can love me better, I can love me better, baby. Oh, God. So this is obviously like a fucking epic chorus. I mean, sorry, I'm trying to not swear on this podcast because I want everyone of all ages to be. I want parents to be excited to show this to their kids. So I'm not gonna swear. It's so freaking good. I'll say freaking. It's so freaking good. But what Miley's doing on this song is singing about like all the different ways in which she's giving herself love and telling herself that she is deserving of her own love. And it's so straightforward. It's so like she's telling us the things that she's doing that make her feel worthy of her own love and worthy of feeling good, which is buying herself flowers, writing her name in the sand, her own name in the sand, and getting in touch with her own thoughts and her feelings, and taking herself dancing and holding her own hand, and like just all these beautiful things that when you do with someone else, they're obviously beautiful, but when you do them for yourself, that's just like next level beautiful and next level powerful and next level important. And a beautiful thing about this chorus too is that Miley said in an interview, let me check which interview really quick. It was with, I believe, Glamour magazine. Miley explained that at first the chorus of this song was the freaking opposite. It was the complete opposite. It was, she was listing out all these things that she can do, but then she said, but I can't love me better than you can. I can't. And when she first started writing this song, that's what kind of came out. But then it was like, no, I can. And that is, the second I found that out, as while I was researching this episode, I was like, oh shit. Because Miley was saying that the original lyrics came from a place of kind of like that 50s kind of like sad, somber ballad, which is a beautiful like place to come from, but it's we're evolving past that as like as like humanity. It's like, no, we're all self-empowered. We can feel good about ourselves by ourselves. We can love ourselves by ourselves. We don't need someone else to love us to do that. And that it's just that change is so fundamental to what this song is and what it's become, and the movement that it's had in like culture this year, and the moment that it's been in culture this year. It's amazing. It's so amazing. Second verse. The second verse is really, it's really important to me. paint my nails cherry red, match the roses that you left. No remorse, no regret. I forgive every word you said. Ooh, I didn't want to leave, baby. I didn't want to fight. Started to cry, but then remembered I love the second verse because I love that she sings about forgiving the other person, because that's also a huge part of self-love and love in general. Is even if somebody has, you have a complicated history with somebody, extending love to them even after going through whatever you guys have been through, still forgiving them and forgiving the things that they may have said or done, and all of that is what is you have to do that and that's a crucial step to self-love as well. And I'll save that for a different episode, but I wanted to touch on it now because Miley touches on it in this song. But you have to forgive people, because their only way to truly forgive yourself as well is to forgive other people, no matter and this kind of gets into kind of controversial things, because people can be fucked up and people can be freaked up, and people can say and do and terrible things to other people. But holding a grudge is the metaphor for it, I think from Gandhi, literally Gandhi, is that holding a grudge and not forgiving someone is like drinking poison but waiting for the other person to die. It's like the other person's unaffected. The only person, you're only holding yourself back when you're holding a grudge. And so I want to explain that, because again, that's a really important step to self-love. And Miley touches on it, and it's fundamental. But no, I love the second verse. I think forgiveness is a really, really powerful thing. And yeah, so I'm really happy also that Miley kind of touched on it in this song that's about self-love. So yeah. And then in the Flowers music video as well, Miley kind of gets into other things she's doing that just make her feel good. The biggest thing I want to mention is exercise and taking care of your physical body, because that's a huge thing in the music video, and it's a powerful moment in the music video as well. It comes in at the second chorus where she's like, I can buy myself flowers, and she's swinging these ropes, the workout ropes that you can do at the gym, or she was doing it in this beautiful house because it was a music video. And she's also even seen she was at the beginning of the music video, she's walking up this beautiful hill overlooking a city. I'm not sure which city, maybe it's the valley in LA, but in this beautiful golden gown, totally solo, totally just doing her own thing, totally just dancing and vibing to her own music as she's walking up to this beautiful house where she goes and works out. And she's just dressed beautifully and looking beautiful and feeling beautiful for herself, totally for herself. And that energy, that energy that's self-love. That's what it is. And it's I'm going to wear this beautiful outfit because it makes me feel good. I'm going to work out and take care of my physical body because it makes me feel good, and it makes me feel healthy and strong and capable of doing the things that I want to do every day and getting everything done that I want to get done every day. Yeah, I mean, this video and the song, of course, are so full of energy and full of light and full of positivity, which is just, again, I love the moment that it's had in culture, because I think it says a lot about where we're headed, and it makes me so excited. And I really am excited to see what this song and album does at the Grammys, because this album is also a really good album, Endless Summer Vacation. I love it. It's so good. It's just the sound and the lessons and Miley's always, and her voice. Oh, Miley's voice, the evolution that her voice has been on, and it's just beautiful. Her voice is so, it stands out so much, and it's so beautiful, and it's so unique. A funny thing also, Miley also just announced that she's releasing a new song next week. I'm recording this on Thursday, the week before it comes out. But she's releasing a song a week from now. And this episode's coming out on Tuesday next week, which is, I had no idea when I sat down to film this episode. Or I guess I said when I sat down to film it, I knew, because I'm doing it right now. But whenever I was planning this episode over the last couple of weeks, I had no idea that she was going to release a new song. But the timing of it, it's the same week. It's crazy. But this song is called Used to Be Young, which is a beautiful theme too. And who knows, maybe Maybe there will be a episode about that song as well. We'll see. I'm sure it'll resonate with me because most of Miley's music does, because she knows how to write a really beautiful song. So yeah, I'm really excited about Miley and her career and just where she's headed and what she's going to do. So yeah. But back to Flowers. So the lesson here is that by going out solo and doing your own thing and doing things for you and doing things that make you feel good and exploring different things that you enjoy and seeing and trying different things, we tell ourselves that we are like worthy of our own love and our own attention and our own time. And like we're worthy of being our own first priority. And that's what self-love is. That's what it is. And another song that I really, really love that's also about enjoying your own company and the process of learning how to is Lonely Weekend by Casey Musgraves. This song, Golden Hour by Casey is what a freaking album it is. But this song especially is, every single song on the album is a standout. But Lonely Weekend definitely ties into this kind of idea of enjoying your own company and the process of learning how to. So yeah, here's Lonely Weekend by Casey Musgraves. Golden Hour by Casey Musgraves is truly one of the most beautiful albums in the entire world. Oh my goodness. Oh, but on Lonely Weekend in specific though, she's in the process of learning how to enjoy her own company. So she starts off the song kind of explaining that she hasn't been getting to see her lover, her husband super often, and it's kind of she's fine, but it's I just have alone time. Some lyrics I want to specifically touch on. I should see what's going on, only got a couple friends. The song starts with her realizing that because her lover is out of town for the weekend, presumably for work or just something normal, she should make the most of her alone time and her life outside of her relationship with her husband. And then she says, later on in the song, she says, guess everybody else is out tonight. Guess I'm hanging by myself, but I don't mind. I don't mind. And she's actually enjoying it. Here, clearly she's actually enjoying her alone time. She's enjoying this alone time is kind of a vibe. In the second verse, she sings about wishing her sister was in town, which, girl, I feel you. Natalie, if you're watching this, come to LA. She got me this, actually. I just looked at it at the same time that I said that. That was funny. She got me that and sent it to me in the mail. Natalie, come visit LA as soon as possible. But she sings about wishing her sister was in town, and then also about having FOMO and also about having things to do, but just getting distracted, specifically by her phone. And I think these kind of represent the challenges that come up when you're alone, because part of learning to be alone is wishing that you weren't, because you're learning to realize the beauty in being alone and loving your own time to yourself. But wishing you had your sister to hang out with, yeah, that makes sense. It's that's my bestie. It's I wish she was in town. Or having FOMO because your friends are out but you're just not with them or something, and then getting distracted by your phone to feel distracted so you don't have to think about things and everything. Those are natural challenges and natural thoughts that come up when you're first getting used to having alone time. So when you start spending time alone and letting your thoughts just happen and just observing them and observing the things that are happening in your head, you often realize that there are things that you have to work through, and there are challenges that can vary in difficulty based on what you've been through and experiences that you've had and things you need to work through. And I think that most people, when they up until recently in culture and in society and as humanity, up until recently, people would try the alone time thing and then not be ready to confront the things that come up when you're alone, because again, things come up when you're spending time alone, and they wouldn't be ready to, so then they would get distracted, or they'd go hang out with friends, or even this is another thing, it's whenever you don't enjoy your own alone time, you end up desperate for distraction, and that leads to lowering your standards for the people around you, and lowering your standards for your friends, your relationship, your even like, I mean, everything in your life, like your job, everything. And you kind of start letting people treat you ways that maybe aren't the best. But you don't really have a choice because the alternative is like dealing with these things that you aren't ready to deal with yet. And so you just end up lowering your standards for everything in your life. And then, yeah, the way I wrote it down in my notes, I said, it's kind of a long one, but I'm gonna read it all. It says, I think that most people who try the alone time thing end up being faced with these challenges and then turning around and being desperate to not have to deal with them, which leads to having lower standards for the things around you, specifically the way people treat you, because you're like anything but the other stuff that I would have to deal with if I was alone right now. Whether it's like the way you get attached to things, or the way you find fulfillment, or the way, or just like also like trauma and like deep things that are not easy to work through. Yeah. And it makes, like, again, that's why it's kind of a controversial thing to say. It's like, the thing is, everyone has the power to, and everyone deserves to not let things that have happened to them impact the way they step forward and the way they move forward after that. And the thing is also, dark things happen sometimes, and you can't let someone else's dark things that they've done affect the way you move forward from there. This is kind of also where forgiveness comes in, and I think that's what Miley was singing about in Flowers on, again, the second verse. It's like, when you forgive everyone else for what they may have done or said or anything, you also are able to forgive yourself and then move forward after that and love yourself and love your alone time. And of course things might come back up, that happens, but for the most part, it flows. It's like, we're here to have a good time. We're here on this earth to have a good time. Which, I say that all the time, but like, we're on this earth to have a good time. If you're having a good time, girl, you gotta figure out why, and you gotta get to the bottom of that shit. I mean, that ish, and do everything you can to keep going, because you deserve it. You owe it to yourself to do that. You know, you deserve to wake up feeling good. But the only person who can do that is you, and who can make yourself feel that way is you. No one else can do that for you. At least not for at least not permanently. They can maybe do it temporarily, but then that leads to also unhealthy attachments and all that stuff. But back to Lonely Weekend. So in the bridge, Casey also says, what does she say? Oh, it's beautiful. In the bridge, Casey says what she knows is the truth, and this is like kind of the lesson that she's learned. Even if you got somebody on your mind, it's alright to be alone sometimes. I would even take this a step further and say, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be alone sometimes. But the funny thing about Flowers by Miley and then Lonely Weekend by Casey is that each of the albums that they're on, so Endless Summer Vacation for Miley and then Golden Hour for Casey, have a song on them called Wonder Woman, which is a really funny coincidence that I realized while planning out this episode. And I was like, that means something. And then sure enough, when I listened to them and broke them down, it sure as hell did. I mean, sure as heck did. And this is moving stuff right here. This kind of concept of Wonder Woman. I'm really excited to share this, but like this similarity and this kind of like synchronicity between Miley and between Casey, it's like, it's really, really profound, and it's really, I'm really excited to get into why. So here's Wonder Woman by Miley Cyrus. Eek! Wonder Woman by Miley Cyrus. This song is so beautiful. And this song is actually, it's the album closer to Miley's most recent album, to Endless Summer Vacation. And it's truly such a beautiful and like perfect way to end the album. And it's kind of funny because Flowers is actually the album opener. So it's like, it's kind of funny, but yeah. She's a Wonder Woman. She knows what she likes. Never know she's broken, 'cause she's always fine. She's a million moments, lived 1,000 lives. So, this song opens up with Miley finding solace in her own journey and feeling proud of like her progress so far and like empowered by it, but also recognizing that like that pain doesn't just go away. In episode 1, The Beauty of Impermanence, about Landslide by Fleetwood Mac, I read a quote about how grief and pain over time like hardens and crystallizes into like a really beautiful piece of who you are. And it's very clear that this has happened for Miley, and that like her journey has shaped her into who she is, and that it's kept her like she's grounded herself in her own journey and learned to love herself more for her own journey, which is what self-love is. It's not being perfect, it's knowing how perfect the imperfection is. The most impactful part of this song for me is the chorus though. When her favorite record's on and she's dancing in the dark, she can't stop her eyes from welling up. She makes sure that no one's round to see her fall apart. She wants to be the one that never does. There are moments of alone time that aren't as lighthearted and empowered and happy as Flowers is. There are moments where you put your favorite record on and it brings out certain memories and it reminds you of certain times, and it there are times when things don't feel perfect. I'm like reading what I wrote and I'm like, how am I gonna get this out? Despite these more challenging memories and feelings and emotions, Miley still knows that she's a Wonder Woman, that she is a woman of wonder. It's not about like not experiencing tough things, and like it's not about not making mistakes. It's about moving forward from them, and about like loving everything about you still, and forgiving yourself again, and forgiving the people, and forgiving everyone. It's about loving yourself despite the journey, and despite the hard moments, and despite the mistakes. Yeah. I want to keep this in because this it's important to show every piece of everything. There are times when things feel hopeless and things feel pointless and things feel like they don't have a purpose, and things feel like you don't know what you're doing, and you don't know where you're headed, and there are times when things feel like nothing is going to work out. But when you learn to love yourself through those moments and still see how beautiful the world is despite anything, despite how dark things can be, that's self-love. That is love. Okay, I'm done crying. Enough. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Because that's what it is. Let's keep going. So then Casey's take on Wonder Woman and her song Wonder Woman is really, really beautiful as well. And has also really, really hit home for me since breaking it down for this episode. So yeah, here is Wonder Woman by Casey Musgraves. I'm going to go clean up my face and wipe these tears away. And also keep them in because, again, this is important to keep in. I'm making a promise to myself now. Okay. What I love so much about this song is the way that Casey is telling her lover that she knows that none of us are perfect and that she doesn't expect him to be any more than she expects herself to be. I want to say that again. What I love so much about this song is that Casey is telling her lover, her husband, that she knows that none of us are perfect. She knows that none of us are perfect. And she doesn't expect him to be any more than she expects herself to be. Okay. I can show you strong, I can fight for you, I can try to move mountains if you want me to. But baby, I ain't Wonder Woman. I don't know how to last though the love out of you. Don't you know I'm only human? And if I let you down, I don't mean to. All I need's a place to land. I don't need a Superman to win my lovin'. 'Cause baby, I ain't Wonder Woman. There are like so many beautiful themes to this song, some of which I definitely want to cover and like expand on in a different episode. But when it comes to self-love, Casey's ability here to, and in general, to tell her lover that she doesn't need him to be perfect. She doesn't need him to be Superman is so beautiful. And it is so rooted in healthy love and being along for the journey with someone else. And even deeper than that, rooted in self-love. Because she's able to extend the same grace to the man she loves that she extends to herself. Because she understands that none of us are perfect. There's no way to do everything perfectly. There's no way to be perfect. There's no way. We all make mistakes and we all do things that we sometimes regret and later regret. And life is not, life, to an extent, yes, avoid doing things if you know you're going to regret it. But when it happens, which is inevitable, forgiving yourself as soon as you can and not dwelling, and then also extending that same grace to the people you love and also to the entire world that is what, when I talk about love, which I talk about love a lot, that's what I mean. It's not expecting perfection or anything like that from anyone around you or yourself or the world or anything. The power of self-love. I'm realizing this now. I didn't even really realize this until recording, but a lot of self-love lies in self-forgiveness, and that's beautiful. And I think that's why I got emotional, is because I didn't realize that I had forgiven the things that I need to forgive myself and other people. I hadn't realized that I had done that, but I have. And that realization hit, and now I'm able to do this and share these things and like make the world a better place in the ways that I know how, using my gifts, my gift of writing music, my gift of loving music, my gift of really, 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 really introspective thinking, and my gift of kindness and love and warmth, and these things that have guided me my entire life. But anyway, that's kind of a side tangent, but I think that sharing this kind of grace and understanding and love with someone else is only truly possible when you love yourself too. And what Casey has learned is that loving yourself isn't necessarily about believing that you can do anything. It's not about being Wonder Woman. It's about being a Wonder Woman. And that's also what Miley is singing about. It's about loving yourself for the things that you do bring to the table, that you, like in any facet of life, the things that you do bring to the table, like your gifts and the things that you're blessed with, and doing the best that you can at what you love to do. I wonder if it's scary always, trying not to get hurt. I know how it feels, it ain't easy. There's a reason why you only see it in the movies. So this is a really, really impactful line in this song. And it's funny because it kind of touches on some of the themes of my last episode, episode 2, which was the state of modern relationships. And it was about Hey Ya by Outkast. When we're experiencing healthy love, whether it's like self-love or like relationship love with someone else, we're not scared of being hurt. Rather, we are able to love fearlessly because we trust our ability to like weather any storm and handle whatever comes our way, anything that comes our way. I'm going to say that again. When we are experiencing healthy love and we've done the work and worked through the things that we needed to work through, whether it's self-love or relationship love, when we're experiencing healthy love, we're not afraid of being hurt. Rather, we are able to love fearlessly because we trust in our own ability and our own resourcefulness and we trust ourselves to like weather any storm and handle whatever comes our way, anything that comes our way. And what I've learned from enjoying my own company is that I can pick myself back up from any challenge and I can weather any storm and I can rely on my own abilities, my own self-love to get me through to the other side. And because of that, I'm able to love fearlessly and laugh fearlessly and live fearlessly because I know that no matter what happens, I have myself to lean on and I trust myself to, again, to figure it out, to weather any storm. And another beautiful thing about self-love is that, and what Casey's singing about is, like, it's not even just me that I have to lean on. I am blessed with such beautiful people in my life, friends, and especially my family. I've been blessed with such beautiful relationships in my life, like where we've fostered this beautiful way of supporting each other and existing together and pursuing our different things together and like encouraging one another and just being there for one another and loving each other. Like, they know I will always have their back and I know they will always have mine too, no matter what happens, no matter how much time passes, no matter what happens. And I truly feel and know deeply that I will never be truly alone because I have them in my life at all times, whenever I need them. Which is that's love. I say that a lot, but that's love. It's like, it's community, it's support, it's having a strong network of people it's a strong feeling with the people around you that you love and care about, that we got this. We got this. No matter what, we got this. This is what love is. And this type of connection is also not like a one-of-a-kind thing. Like, this type of connection is what happens naturally. It's what comes whenever you truly, like, madly, deeply fall in love with yourself. And then after that, and when you do that, you're able to then give that same love to the people around you and love and be loved and be in this thing called life together and have a team, which is also something I touched on in the last episode. But yeah, so this moves on to part 5, the last part, simply titled "You Are Worthy," because it wouldn't be the Daniel Brinko radio show if I didn't have a call to action at the end to encourage you to learn to love your own alone time and to forgive yourself and Have fun. Get in touch with what you love. Get in touch with the things that fulfill you. Get in touch with all those amazing things. Get in touch with your gifts. Get in touch with your passions. Get in touch with your talents. Everything. Everything. So, yes. Okay. Here comes the big final lesson. The first step to self-love. I wrote this in I was feeling really passionate about this episode. This is the first thing I wrote for this episode. And this is what I want to leave you with. I might just read it directly because I want to make sure it gets across clearly. Whether you truly believe it or not, you are worthy of every good thing that the world has to offer. Healthy connections, a fulfilling career, a comfortable home, exciting adventures, whatever you dream of. Like whatever the best case scenario for each avenue of your life looks like to you, you are worthy of it. No matter the mistakes you've made, no matter the people you may have hurt, and no matter the people who have hurt you. No matter what, you are worthy of it all. Simply for existing, simply for like being born, just for waking up this morning, just for being you. You are worthy of every good thing that the world has to offer. The thing is, it's not quite as simple as just, you can, like, it's easy to say those things and say that, but not believe it truly, madly, deeply, and not remember it and take these things with you into your life, and like this energy with you into your life. You have to like work for the things that you want. You have to work for the things that you want. When you show the universe that you truly believe that you are worthy of good things, and you are worthy of the things that you want, your wildest dreams, not only by asking for it and by wanting it, but by taking action to get the things you want, you push yourself closer to getting them. By knowing deeply how worthy you are of the things that you want, and letting your like habits and routines and your like conversations with people and your moods and your feelings and your thoughts push you closer to those things, the universe will meet you where you're at and help you and keep pushing you further. And this starts with flowers, like Miley was saying. It starts with doing things that tell ourselves that we are worthy of our own love. Buying ourselves flowers, or taking ourselves dancing, or exercising, or writing our name in the sand, our own name in the sand. When we learn to enjoy our own company and like take care of our physical and mental health, and we work through our thoughts and emotions, we tell ourselves and the world around us that we're worthy of the things that we want. We're worthy of good things. The thing is, the only person who can tell yourself that you're worthy of good things is you. And it's, again, for the final time, I won't say it anymore after this. It's by, at least not in this episode, it's by taking care of yourself and having discipline and doing things that will tell yourself that you are worthy of those good things. And also treating ourselves with as much love and patience and kindness as we can. Because those two things can coexist. Those things should coexist. You can work hard, but also rest and give yourself time to like eating healthy doesn't mean not having snacks and like having chocolate. I love chocolate. I still have chocolate all the time. I have a cookie like literally every day, but I also take care of myself well. It's like I tell myself that I'm worthy, and then I give myself love after that by having a cookie. Girl, I just love a chocolate chip cookie. That's actually a wonderful note to end this episode on, chocolate chip cookies. Have a chocolate chip cookie when you feel like you've earned it. It will change your life. I don't know if it's going to change your life. That might be dramatic, but it makes me feel good. Okay, I will go now. I'm going to go now. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. This was a powerful hour for me. A very powerful hour for me. Power hour. Yeah, thank you so much for watching and for hearing the things that I gotta say. I'll say it every episode. Thank you for being open to hearing these things, because I know that they're not always easy, but they're necessary. And thank you for being open to hearing these things and hearing these lessons, and hopefully like applying them and watching your life change and become better than you could even imagine. I'm excited to see what you guys do, what you guys achieve, what we achieve. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm gonna plug my own things really quick because I am worthy. The full circle. So follow my radio show. Follow the Daniel Binko radio show on Spotify or my channel on YouTube, whichever is your vibe. I personally love Spotify because I think hearing the songs is really important, but I want to have it up for my YouTube girlies too. Even if you're on YouTube, you could just like pause the thing and then go play the song and then come back. That would be so easy to do because you could just look up the song and play it. Anyway, oh my goodness. Yes, follow my radio show and everything. Share it with your friends. Also, I found this out. Rating it on Spotify specifically is really helpful for me. So rate it 5 stars or 4 if you don't vibe as much, or 3 or 2 or whatever you feel. Be honest. I'm cool with that. Rate the radio show. Follow me on Instagram. I have a lot of fun over there. And then also, this is probably the most important thing that I can mention. Music, my own music. My first song, called Apollo, comes out on September 1st. And I'm so ridiculously excited to take you guys on this journey and show you how I've learned these lessons through my music that I've been writing through everything. This first song is, I'm so excited about this first song. I just released an Apollo playlist that is just full of like 50 something songs that have inspired Apollo and that tell similar stories to Apollo, similar energy to Apollo, similar songs that just are Apollo to me in my heart and in my soul. It's such a fun playlist. It's upbeat, but it's also introspective. And if you want to go to see the Apollo playlist, check it out. I'll link it. I want to figure out with Spotify. I would love to find a way to like link my artist playlist with my radio show stuff, podcast stuff. That would be so cool to like somehow merge those together. If anyone from Spotify corporate is listening, let's chat. Hit me up. Send me an email, DM me on Instagram. I keep that shit open. Send me a message. I mean, that ish open. Send me a message. That would be so cool to kind of link those two things. But no, yeah, I'll link the Apollo playlist in the episode description. And also it'll be all over like my Instagram as well if you want to go check it out there. But yeah, the song comes out on September 1st, which is just a couple of weeks away. I'm so excited. There's a pre-save link as well if you want to pre-save it, and then you'll get notified on release day. And I also, how could I forget? I need help picking the album cover. I have a few different options that a close friend of mine and I shot in Malibu that I am obsessed with. I love all 3. They each tell such beautiful pieces of Apollo in the story. And there's one that in the last couple of days has like clicked for me, and I'm like, oh shit, wait. I mean, this is like, it ties in like a lot of the influences visually that I've had for my music for years now since I started writing this project, like the EP it's on. And also it ties into like more stuff for Apollo that I like, the visuals that I've shot for Apollo with, oh my goodness. I'm so excited for life and for everything. But check out my music when it's out. Check out my Instagram, pre-save Apollo. Get excited about it. Share it with your friends. Share this radio show with your friends. Share these life lessons with your friends. And remember how worthy you are of anything good, all things good. You are worthy of your wildest dreams. I love you. Thank you so much for being here today and for sharing this moment together. It means the world. Yeah. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one. I'll see you next week. Love you lots. Goodbye. I have to tell you guys what that reference is. When should I tell you guys that reference? I have to tell you eventually. Okay. Should I do it? No, I'll wait till maybe next week. Okay. Goodbye. Bye.